Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a really eye-opening topic to discuss. Did you know that you might be ingesting a credit card's worth of plastic every week? Yes, you heard that right. That's a scary thought, right? But it's true, and it's happening to all of us. We're talking about microplastics, tiny particles of plastic that have infiltrated our environment and are now posing a serious threat to our health. These particles are everywhere. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of microplastics. We'll explore their origins and how they end up in our daily lives. We'll uncover what they are, how they form, and why they are so pervasive. How they're getting into our bodies through the food we eat, the water we drink, and even the air we breathe. And most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself and your loved ones. We'll share some simple, yet effective strategies. We'll be covering 5 practical tips that you can start implementing today to minimize your exposure to these harmful particles. These tips are easy to follow and can make a big difference. Before we start, if you are interested in the latest in health research, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our daily videos. Your support means a lot to us. So, what exactly are microplastics? Imagine tiny pieces of plastic, smaller than 5 millimeters, almost invisible to the naked eye. These minuscule fragments are often overlooked, but their impact is far-reaching and significant. These particles are everywhere, in our oceans, our soil, our water, and even the air we breathe. They have infiltrated every corner of our planet, making it nearly impossible to escape their presence. Now, you might be wondering, where do these microplastics come from? Well, they originate from a variety of sources. Understanding these sources is crucial to addressing the problem. One major source is the breakdown of larger plastic waste. Think plastic bottles, bags, and packaging that end up in landfills and oceans, slowly fragmenting into smaller and smaller pieces over time. This process can take decades, during which these plastics continue to pollute our environment. But here's the thing, it's not just about plastic waste. The problem is more pervasive than we might think. Microplastics are also intentionally added to certain products like cosmetics and personal care items for their texture and properties. These tiny beads, often found in exfoliating scrubs and toothpaste, wash down our drains and enter our water systems. Additionally, synthetic fabrics like polyester and nylon release microplastic fibers every time we wash them, which eventually make their way into our waterways and ultimately back into our food chain. These fibers are so small that they pass through wastewater treatment plants, ending up in rivers, lakes, and oceans. These tiny particles are like stealthy invaders, finding their way into our food and water sources. They are so pervasive that they have been detected in some of the most remote places on Earth. Think about it. Fish and other marine life consume these microplastics. And guess what? They end up on our dinner plates. This means that we are indirectly consuming these plastics ourselves. Bottled water, often touted as a pure alternative, has also been found to contain microplastics. Studies have shown that a significant percentage of bottled water contains these tiny particles, making it clear that no source is truly safe. And the most alarming part? Studies have shown that microplastics can even enter our bloodstream. This raises serious concerns about the long-term health effects of these particles. That's right, these tiny particles can actually penetrate our cells and tissues, potentially wreaking havoc on our health. The full extent of their impact is still being studied, but the evidence so far is deeply concerning. Okay, so we've established that microplastics are everywhere. They're in our oceans, our rivers, and even in the air we breathe. These tiny particles have infiltrated every corner of our environment and can enter our bodies through the food we eat, the water we drink, and even the air we inhale. It's a pervasive problem that affects us all. But what happens once they're inside? Well, the scientific community is still hard at work unraveling the full extent of their impact, but the emerging evidence is far from reassuring. Studies have shown that these particles can travel through our bloodstream and lodge in various organs. One of the major concerns is inflammation. When microplastics enter our bodies, our immune system recognizes them as foreign invaders and mounts an inflammatory response to try and neutralize the threat. This response, while intended to protect us, can sometimes do more harm than good. Now, some inflammation is normal and even beneficial, but chronic low-grade inflammation is linked to a whole host of health problems, from heart disease to cancer. This persistent state of inflammation can wear down our bodies over time, leading to serious health issues, and it doesn't stop there. Microplastics have also been shown to disrupt our endocrine system, the delicate balance of hormones that regulate everything from our metabolism to our mood. This disruption can have far-reaching effects on our overall health. These hormone disruptors can mimic or block the actions of our natural hormones, leading to a cascade of health issues, including infertility, developmental problems, and even an increased risk of certain cancers. The potential impact on future generations is particularly concerning. The research on microplastics is still ongoing, but the findings so far paint a pretty alarming picture. Scientists are racing against time to understand the full scope of the problem and find potential solutions. Scientists are particularly concerned about the potential long-term effects of these particles accumulating in our bodies over time. The idea that these tiny invaders could be building up in our systems year after year is a frightening prospect. Think about it. We're constantly exposed to microplastics day in and day out. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, these particles are a part of our daily lives. It's like a slow, silent invasion, and we're just beginning to understand the potential consequences. The more we learn, the more urgent it becomes to address this growing threat to our health and environment. If you're finding this video eye-opening, please give it a thumbs up to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe for daily life-changing content. I know this might sound overwhelming, but don't worry. There are things we can do to protect ourselves and minimize our exposure to these harmful microplastics. Remember, knowledge is power, and by taking proactive steps, we can make a real difference in our health and the health of our planet. So let's dive into 5 practical and effective strategies that you can start implementing today. Number 1. Filter your water. Invest in a high-quality water filter that's specifically designed to remove microplastics. Look for filters that use activated carbon or a combination of filtration methods for the best results. Remember, even bottled water can contain microplastics, so filtering your tap water is a simple and effective way to reduce your exposure. Number 2, ditch the plastic. We're surrounded by plastic, but making conscious choices to reduce our plastic consumption can have a significant impact. Start by saying no to single-use plastics whenever possible. Ditch the plastic water bottles and invest in a reusable stainless steel or glass bottle. Carry reusable shopping bags with you and refuse plastic bags at the checkout. Instead of relying on plastic wrap or bags, opt for reusable beeswax wraps or glass containers for food storage. Number 3, choose natural. Synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon and acrylic are major culprits when it comes to microplastic pollution. These fabrics release tiny microfibers every time we wash them, which eventually end up in our waterways and ultimately back into our food chain. Opt for clothing made from natural materials like cotton, wool, linen or hemp. These fabrics are biodegradable and won't contribute to the growing problem of microplastic pollution. Plus, natural fabrics are often more breathable and comfortable to wear, so it's a win-win situation. Number 4, be careful with food storage. Heating food in plastic containers, especially in the microwave, can increase the likelihood of microplastics leaching into your food. Avoid microwaving food in plastic containers altogether and opt for glass or ceramic containers instead. Similarly, avoid wrapping or storing food in plastic wrap or bags, especially fatty foods, as they can absorb microplastics more readily. Choose reusable beeswax wraps, parchment paper, or glass containers as safer alternatives. Number 5, shop for BPA-free. BPA, or bisphenol A, is a harmful chemical found in many plastic products that can leach into food and beverages. BPA is a known endocrine disruptor, meaning it can interfere with our hormones and potentially lead to a range of health problems. When shopping for food containers, water bottles or any other plastic products, look for BPA-free options. Many manufacturers are now producing BPA-free alternatives, so you can easily make healthier choices without sacrificing convenience. So, there you have it. the lowdown on microplastics, and 5 practical ways to reduce your exposure. Remember, even small changes in our daily habits can make a big difference for our health and the health of our planet. Were you aware of the hazards we mentioned in this video? What are you doing to reduce your exposure to microplastics? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please support the channel by giving it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more daily health tips you don't want to miss. While microplastics are a growing concern, small changes in our daily habits can make a big difference for our health and longevity as well as the planet.